Is the niqab, the face cover, something Islamic, or is it just plain culture? There are those today, like those progressive Muslims, the ones who shun away the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, those who only believe in the Quran, and there are even others who take on a very modern approach to all of this, who state that this is something that sprung up only about 10 to 15 years ago, whilst in reality it is completely contrary to that. There are two ayat that discuss this. The first ayah is in Surah An-Nur, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ, and the ayah goes on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, O Muhammad, say unto the believing women to protect their privates, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to list a few commandments, of which is وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا, and they're not supposed to expose their beauty, their adornment, إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا, except that which is apparent. Now this part of the ayah has been interpreted by two great Sahaba, Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, two great Sahabi, companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, two great Sahaba from the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they are Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma and Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhuma. Two great companions. Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, he clearly states that illa ma dhahara minha. His interpretation of that ayah is that they are supposed to cover themselves except for their face and their hands. Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma. Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, on the other hand, he states that they're supposed to cover everything, and the part where illa ma dhahara minha means is that after they cover whatever is apparent, whatever is visible, that is after they cover their faces, whatever is apparent or whatever is visible is excused. That's what's exempted here. You have another ayah, Surah Al-Ahzab, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّبِيُّ قُلْ لِأَزْوَاجِكَ وَبَنَاتِكَ وَنِسَاءِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ يُدْنِينَ عَلَيْهِنَّ مِنْ جَلَابِيبِهِنَّ. O Prophet, say unto your wives, كُلِّ أَزْوَاجِكَ وَبَنَاتِكَ, your daughters, وَنِسَاءِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and the women of the believing men, to يُدْنِينَ عَلَيْهِنَّ مِنْ جَلَابِيبِهِنَّ, to draw over their jilbab over them. Now this particular ayah too, the scholars of tafsir comment that right after this ayah was revealed, the women folk during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they came out covering their faces in different ways. And scholars of tafsir, in the sense, scholars of tafsir during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yani i.e. Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu and others. So these are the two ayat more or less discuss this issue.